sure the Eagles at one point said, "Take it easily," or maybe I'm confused on the lyrics, but that's certainly what the host team is going to try to do in 2026 at the Senior League Baseball World Series. Easley, South Carolina, won the United States Championship last year and were defeated by the slimmest of margins, 3-2 against Guaynabo, Puerto Rico, the eventual champions. They're off to a great start in their first game, leading 2-0. Stephen Carey, Gordon Beckham with you on ESPN. Lower third of the order coming up against Texas in the top of the second inning. The first pitch goes behind Noah Hughes. Look out, just a bit inside. 1-0.
We saw Hughes last year, and he had himself a pretty good tournament too. He comes back as one of the returners on this Easley team, and as you said, it's a young team.
Vieira straightens out his breaking ball and evens up the count at 1-1. That's been a good pitch for him. His misses have been really small so far in his start, but by and large, he's around the strike zone.
Yeah, so far the quality's been good on both sides.
Ground ball to third. Carrizales gathers. His throw to first is in plenty of time for the first out of the inning. Good adjustment from Carrizales. If you remember, he had that throw over to first that was ruled a fielder's choice play that pulled Ramirez off the bag and allowed the game's first run to score.
And I think that's just as much on Vargas running around third base and able to score on the Southwest team as it was the defense, because sometimes you're going to make mistakes, right? You're going to throw the ball up the line, but good hustle by Vargas on Easley, and because of that, that's why they got that first run and then subsequently tacked on another.
So Trip Garrett, the 15-year-old, will hit with the bases empty. Vieira is continuing to spin some more against Easley's lower portion of the order. I feel like that's a way that this game has changed. When I was growing up, you didn't see breaking stuff all that much at this age group. 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. Now in this at-bat, all we have seen are sliders and curveballs. 2-2 pulled foul. Gordon, when's the first time that you remember seeing good breaking stuff, and what was the feeling like at that age?
Yeah, I would say it was more around this age, right? 13, 14 years old, and then you got some 16-year-olds pumping some really good breaking stuff out there with some change-ups and mixing in a lot of different pitches. Generally at the lower level, it's a two-pitch mix, and then as you get a little bit older, you might work in a third.
Little pop into center, a base hit. Trip Garrett covered that pitch, got the barrel out and floated it into center for a one-out single.
Nice swing by the shortstop, Garrett, able to float that ball out to center field. You see he was a little bit fooled by it, but he kept his hands back, and because he did, he's able to serve that ball into center field. A wonderful job by him. And also, if you think about Vieira kind of getting into a little bit of a pattern, leaning on that breaking pitch, if you just know that breaking pitches are coming, you can more or less sit on that pitch, and that looks like what Trip Garrett did.
Kealan Blackwell shows bunt. Pulls back in enough time, 1-0. That just shows how advanced these players are. The ability to keep your hands back is difficult even at the major league level with some of these pitchers that have multi-pitch mixes.
But and it is a good breaking ball, but the one thing, if you fall in love with one pitch, it's easy to sit on that. And so if you can show him the Blackwell a fastball now with one strike and throw a fastball for a strike, then all of a sudden you can come back with that breaking ball and really mix it up. But if you rely on one pitch, ultimately the offense is going to figure that out.
Blackwell sticking with the bunt play. Carrizales charging in from third. We'll see what he gets here. He'll swing away and foul it back. So now you're out of opportunities to lay down a bunt unless you really want to be aggressive.
wet field. I mean, at the end of the day, if you can put down a bunt with this wet turf, it's always going to be tough to throw you out at first.
The 2-2 outside corner, called strike 3. So Vieira picks up his first strikeout, paints the black, and retires Kealan Blackwell.
Another breaking pitch, out and away from Blackwell, able to get the call down and away, and a great job by Vargas behind the plate to frame that and show the umpire a really quality pitch and a quality frame.
So back to the top of the order with Bradley Runyon. He gets pushed off the plate on a pitch inside. One thing I notice about Runyon, he stands virtually on top of home plate. He really wants you to try and pitch him inside so he can turn on the baseball.
I think it's fun to look at these guys that we saw from last year come back, because Bradley looks like he's grown a couple of inches, and definitely not the young 15-year-old he was last year.
He and Sebastian Cruz were the best two players in the 2025 tournament. They faced off against each other in the World Championship game. Runyon again hits a pull side ground ball to the first base side, but it goes foul to even up the count at 2-2.
And Easley was in control of that championship game the majority of that matchup, but Puerto Rico just too much. Right at the last second, able to score a couple of runs and go up on Easley, who looked like they were going to head to the title.
Vieira's 2-2 pitch to Runyon. Smoke to right. Alvarez charging in. It's going to drop in front of him for a base hit. And Easley's going to have him set up on first and third. Bradley Runyon finds his first hit of the tournament. Angel Vargas will have a chance to add on to the 2-0 lead.
Yeah, we saw that a lot last year. We're going to look at it again. I really thought this ball might be caught out in right field, but it looked like Alvarez did not get a good look at it and felt like it would have been too dangerous to go and dive for it. As you see, Trip Garrett first to third. Easley's got something cooking again. 2 outs here in the top of the second.
Right side wide open for Vargas. We'll see if Runyon takes off with the pitch. Vargas fouls it away. We did get confirmation from our wonderful statistician, stage manager, work mom, Karen Blackman. Vargas was sent back to first because of umpire interference. There goes Runyon. The throw goes to second. They don't send the runner. Runyon is able to get around the tag. He's safe. Looked like there might have been some miscommunication. The second baseman, Zapata, came in trying to cut the baseball. The throw was perfect down to second base. If he was a foot or two back, they probably would have gotten the runner.
Yeah, clearly missed the tag right there. I thought it was a good throw as well. I thought that there's a good chance to have the out at second base, and when Trip Garrett didn't go to home, I figured that the Southwest would be out of that inning, but now runners on second and third, 2 outs, opportunity for a big hit from Vargas.
2-1. Front door breaking ball gets the inside corner. Nice pitch. Vieira threw a 7-inning shutout in the regular season. 2-2. Smoke to right, a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Runyon. The throw is way late.
Another 2 out. Wonderful hitting by Vargas and Easley. So far, they've been very good with 2 outs, and you see it. It's a breaking pitch. He just stays back and hammers that ball to right field. The stolen base by Runyon and the lack of a tag by the second baseman Zapata really goes to hurt the Southwest, and Easley takes a commanding 4-0 lead.
Here's the difference between the game we did yesterday and this morning's contest. Canada and Czechia weren't really making the pitchers pay for mistakes in the heart of the zone. As we get another look at this missed tag at second, which ended up being a costly mistake for Texas.
And the only thing I would say there is for Zapata is to get there a little bit sooner. If you're there a little bit sooner, you don't have as much movement, and you can catch that ball and go straight to the tag. Sometimes when you're a little bit late, your feet kind of get out of position, and like he did there, he caught the ball 2 feet in front of the bag versus near the bag. If he catches it near the bag, it's an out.
0-2 to Addison. Vargas a huge lead off first. He scurries back to the bag. But what I was saying earlier, Gordon, the reason why so many runs were scored between Czechia and Canada, the walks.
Yeah, tons of walks. It was a little bit of a sloppy matchup, unfortunately. A lot of walks and a lot of errors by the Czechia team really led to their demise.
And with Easley, you throw them too many balls, they'll make you pay. You throw them too many strikes, they'll make you pay. So difficult situation to navigate for Vieira and this Texas squad. Ball and 2 strikes with 1 on and 2 outs. Angel Vargas standing on first. He drove home 2 more runs in the top of the second inning. Vieira's pitch on the ground, left side, snared by Carrizales. He takes the easy route to second, and a nice play robs Easley of another hit. They double their lead. It's 4-0 in the Palmetto State. A lot of fun on deck today. Blackwell got a good jump, and there's the first out. So 1 away off 1 pitch. You like to see that, especially with all the pitch count rules. They want to roll Runyon out in some of those big elimination games if possible. They ended up doing so last year.
Now let me go third baseman, number 24, Derek Carrizales.
Derek Carrizales, who's played great third base so far today, will duck out of the way of a first pitch slider, 1-0. 15 years of age. With a swing like that, I wouldn't want to be playing third base.
Yeah, Whitman might want to back up a little bit. He's still playing in. Not sure why. I don't think there's a bunt coming from Carrizales.
Two balls and a strike. Wave and a miss. Evens the count up at 2-2. Nobody on, 1 out. It's 4-0 Easley leading Texas. And Runyon again comes home. Ground ball, third. Diving try by Whitman. It's by him into left. So Carrizales with a 1-out single has Texas's first hit of the game.
Well, this is why I was surprised that Whitman had not moved back yet. See how close he is to the third base bag and towards the grass in the infield. It's 2 strikes. Back up. Give yourself some room to make a play, and just too far in. And because of that, it's a base hit for the Southwest and Carrizales, who's already had a pretty solid game, made some good plays at third base and a base hit.
Carlos Alvarez Jr. is plunked by a pitch. He gets hit on the hand, and I think George Turman might argue maybe he showed bunt and didn't pull back. That didn't feel good. Let's see where this gets him.
Well, I think that's what Bradley Runyon's looking at the bench talking about. We're going to see a look. Hard to tell from that, but clearly gets Vargas on the hand.
And what makes it difficult in looking at that review is that he pulled the right hand off the top of the bat. So the barrel stays in the zone, but it's not like he fully pulled back. I don't think there's going to be a review on this play. Yeah, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't. We've seen this a few times. Runyon has lost the feel a little bit of the ball, and it's also kind of a wet day, a lot of moisture in the air, and he's definitely missed a couple up and in to righties.
Back-to-back hitters with smaller frames. Carlos Alvarez Jr., now Anthony Vargas. Makes the zone a little bit smaller. Sometimes when you're struggling with command, you'd rather see a bigger, taller hitter. So you have more of the strike zone to go to work against. Bunt try late. Rolls foul. 1-1. 2 aboard, 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Easley leading Texas 4-0. Inning began with a first pitch fly out to center, then a single, then a hit by pitch. Whole lot of room on the left side. Shows bunt again. Runyon hits him again. So back-to-back hit by pitches, and all of a sudden the tying run's at the plate.
Another one of those sliders that gets away from Runyon. I've said this a few times. A couple of those pitches, he's losing the grip, and obviously it's a wet day, but he's missed up and in a few times, and it's hurt him in this inning. As Southwest has the bases loaded, only 1 out right now, and the pitcher, Vieira, coming to the plate with a chance to help his own cause.
Pretty interesting seeing Runyon going away from that fastball pretty much all inning. And he was getting ahead in counts, he was attacking, he was controlling the strike zone.
Yeah, we talk a lot about it. You got to be able to throw the fastball for strikes, and if you can win with the fastball, it opens up all your secondary pitches. As you get to the big leagues, generally you'll have, as a starter, you'll have those 3 pitches. At this level, generally you've got a fastball and a slider, or a fastball and a changeup, and you have kind of your go-to pitches, and you don't go outside of that box. But right now, Runyon, I think, has to get back on that fastball, locating it, and giving himself a good chance for a double play.
Once upon a time, a young 11-year-old Stephen Carey in the district semifinal threw a 14-strikeout shutout using only a fastball and a changeup. Not a brag, just a fact.
You know, I think I heard you talk about that last year. It must have been one of the few times that you actually did well in Little League.
There's a line drive hit into left. It'll hang up. The catch made by Livingston, and no further advance. The ball just kept carrying, and instead of a run, Runyon gets a much-needed second out.
And you can tell the Southwest coach is a little frustrated. The pinch runner comes in and does not tag up. Livingston out there in left field, a good job to get behind that ball, catch it, and then make a strong throw home. No opportunity to score, with the runner, the pinch runner on third base, drifting off, not able to tag up. But it's one of those moments where one run's not going to get you back into this. You don't want to run into an out at home plate as well. So now they've got the top of the lineup and Labra back up. Let's see if they can make these hit by pitches hurt.
That almost hurt. Nowhere to put Labra, who flew out to right field on a great catch by Angel Vargas. Pops one up, but it'll spill into the seats. 1-1, bases loaded, 2 out. Golden opportunity for Texas to cut into this Easley lead. One, down and away. Again, it's been the breaking ball has caused Runyon the most trouble this inning. He's hit 2 batters with that pitch alone. 2-1. Line drive and a foul ball. Home plate umpire Dave Miller was all over that. Rick Zwanenberg, the third base umpire, didn't have a clear look at it. So good reaction by the man at home.
What a swing right here. Chance to score 3 and just foul. Smoke down the left field line.
2 balls and 2 strikes. What does Runyon go with here? He tries the curveball again. So all the runners will be off with the pitch. Payoff coming to Labra. The 3-2. Hit in the air to center. Blackwell drifts over and makes the catch. Runyon's fired up. He gets out of a bases-loaded jam. Texas comes up empty, and as we head to the third, it's 4-0. The host team leads in their home ballpark. You know, Easley's motivated to not only win the United States Championship again, but go the distance in 26. Credit to Javier Vieira. To no fault of his own, he's been throwing strikes. Easley's just been hitting them. 4, 5, and 6 due up as Landon Robertson takes ball 1. Special talent of his via the questionnaires that we get before this wonderful event as he grounds out to second. Throw to first in plenty of time. The first out. Robertson can put his foot behind his head. So that's...
He's a contortionist?
That he is. Now spell it.
I think I could get there.
We learned it.
We're not gonna go down that road.
We learned it at Georgia.
That's right. Spell it out. I mean, you could sound it out.
I don't know that you can.
Well, nonetheless, it's an incredible feat that he's able to be that flexible.
It is.
But flexibility goes, Stefan, as you get older.
That it does. Some of us never had it. There's strike 2 to Logan Johnson. Johnson grounded into that fielder's choice play that led to the game's first run. Ball and 2 strikes, nobody on, 1 out. Texas looking for their first clean inning of the game. Easley has scored a pair of runs in each of their first 2 innings of offense. Even count the pitch. Up the middle. Backhanded on a knee by Zapata. His throw to first is a beauty. And that's a great play up the middle by Texas to retire the 5th place hitter for Easley.
Wonderful play by Zapata. Great first step to his right. You can see there's a great angle by our crew. And you see how he gets to the spot. He gets to a knee, backhands that ball, and fires a strike to first base. Excellent job.
One thing I loved about his positioning, Gordon, you know this better than anyone, getting his body behind the baseball and not giving it room to sneak through.
That's right. Wonderful job.
Driven to center and caught by Labra. A painless 3rd inning of work for Texas and Javier Vieira. They're down by 4 and need some runs. Let's see if they can get them when we come back.
He gets him back to the bat rack, and all of a sudden some momentum now for the Southwest.
Gordon, when you were playing defense and you made a good play at the major league level, how much did that affect your confidence going into your next at bat?
Well, it definitely doesn't hurt, right? You go out there and make a great play. You've got that kind of confidence coming into the dugout, and then you grab a bat and you're like, well, if I can do it with the glove, I can do it with the bat. It's exactly what Zapata did here to start off the inning and potentially get Southwest back in this game.
Gonzalez with a big rip on the 0-1 offering. He's behind the count, 0-2. Zapata on first, nobody out. 4-0. Easley leading. Majority of this Texas team is bilingual. Laredo right by the Mexican border. Their 95% Hispanic population is one of the highest in the country outside of Puerto Rico.
Well, I will say, after that changeup right there that Runyon threw, the pitch before was a fastball, and it was a good one. If I'm him, I'm leaning on that fastball, had a really good feel, had some life and zip, and it opens up the other pitches for Runyon, but I like him leaning on that versus going to the changeup or curveball.
Well, Gordon, last inning for Texas, they loaded the bases with 1 out, had nothing to show for it, but then came out and put up a 0. So that's got to affect the confidence, thinking, okay, we can hang with these guys. The 0-2 pitch is smoked down the right field line. Almost got the light fixture in foul territory. That's got to be one of the hardest hit balls we've seen all tournament.
Yeah, if he straightens that one out, there's going to be some issues with the fence out in right field. But a good job by him. This is an opportunity. As you said, there's some momentum on the southwest side.
You can see why Gonzalez is hitting third for this team. Smooth swing. Fights off pitches on the corners. 0-2. Another throw over to first. At the major league level, we call those disengagements. Oh, 0-2 pitch, breaking ball gets Gonzalez, and there's your second strikeout from Bradley Runyon.
Yeah, Runyon's looked really good this inning, even though giving up that first pitch single, but he threw everything at Gonzalez. He threw a good fastball, changeup, and then came back with that breaking pitch over the middle of the plate, but gets the swing and miss, and Runyon gets his first out of the bottom of the third.
Ramirez shows bunt, and everybody in the building was surprised. Ramirez, at that frame, just trying to get on base. Runner on first, 1 out, 0-1 count. And he pulls this down the third base side, 0-2. I want to give a huge shout out to our wonderful production crew. They've been working tirelessly through the rain and through what has been quite a day and a half already of work. For them, much longer in setting everything up. Our graphics were down. They worked very quickly to get them back up, and just a huge shout out to them after a big lightning storm last night. Pretty much put everything offline. 0-2 yanked outside. Throw back behind the runner, skips into right field. So Zapata is going to move into second on a throwing error by Addison. And Texas will take the break. Have a runner in scoring position with only 1 out, and the middle of your order at the dish.
Yeah, a lot going on with this one. The ball in the dirt, and then a little too far off was Zapata, but Addison tries to catch him napping, and in doing so throws the ball into right field, allowing Zapata to get to second base. Runner in scoring position here for Ramirez.
Playing the big righty to pull. They are daring him to hit it to the opposite field.
Well, as we talked about last time, the third baseman for Easley, Whitman, still very much close to the grass at third base. He's giving himself no room, no range to be able to go left and right. I'd like him backing up and give himself an opportunity to stop a baseball from going to the outfield and save a run.
Vargas shallow and right. Zapata stands on second. He'd represent the first run for Texas should he streak across to score. Runyon's 2-2. And he got him. He started to find the command on his breaking pitches. Strikeout with the curveball to Gonzalez, then hits the slider to Cesar Ramirez for the second out.
Pretty good sequence. He was throwing the ball in, that fastball in, and then goes away with the breaking pitch. Here's the look, and it's perfect. Strike the ball in the outside corner, And that's what you get swing and misses for. Really quality pitch by Runyon for his 3rd strikeout of the game.
Rodrigo Elizondo at the plate. Inside move, throw over to second is not all that eventful. Zapata gets back in safely. He's got a huge lead off the second base bag.
I'll tell you what, this Southwest team, they take some hacks, and I like it. A fastball by Runyon right there, but fouled straight back by Elizondo. They have some really nice looking swings. They just haven't been able to connect a few times in an inning to push a run across.
Fly ball into left. Livingston charges, loses his cap, and makes the play to retire the side. So Runyon once again works out of trouble and preserves a 4-0 lead. Inning number 4 coming up next on ESPN. Some street cred.
Yeah, you need a little bit of credibility behind that, and it would give you a little bit of confidence to go into the top of the 4th.
I think so. Javier Vieira, after having his first clean inning, has plenty of confidence. 7, 8, and 9 due up for an Easley team that leads by 4. Weak ground ball hit to third. Another chance for Carzales. He bobbles it. We'll see how they score this. I'd assume it's an infield single. It was going to be a tough play either way, but a leadoff base runner aboard for the host team.
Yeah, breaking pitch just tapped to third base, and Carzales takes his eye off of it at the last second. He knew he was going to have to rush because of how slowly the ball was hit, but either way, it's a base runner for Easley.
Base runners have turned into runs more often than not for the team in blue. Trip Garrett singled back in the second inning. Ended up scoring the game's 3rd run. Shows bunt again, gets it down, back to the pitcher. Vieira has one play to first. His throw in time, but the sacrifice works to move Hughes into scoring position with only 1 out.
Center fielder, Kealan Blackwell.
Interested to see what they do with Kealan Blackwell. Let him swing away. He couldn't hold up the swing on the slider, 0-1. He showed bunt his last time up with 1 out and a runner on first. Now with the runner on second, looks like they're going to let him swing the bat. And he's done it twice, 0-2. Blackwell's favorite food? Cajun chicken pasta. I could go for some Cajun chicken pasta.
I don't know
what
about,
is it, 10 a.m.?
I think it's a little too spicy for me, too early.
And 3 straight sliders retires the number 9 hitter for Easley. Beautiful pitch sequence by Javier Vieira, 2 away. Well, you can't deal with a little bit of spice?
Well, I don't like a whole lot of heat in my food. I'm pretty soft. Here's another look. Breaking pitch just catches the top left quadrant as we're looking at it from the pitcher's point of view, and a good pitch by Vieira, and it brings up Runyon. He has an opportunity to put South Carolina up a little bit more.
One thing we're seeing from Vieira, though, that first pitch, again, the breaking ball. When he's throwing it for strikes, he falls in love with it, and it got him into a little bit of trouble in the first inning. 0-1. Runner on second, 2 away. That's 1-2. Runyon found his first hit of the tournament. Back in the second inning, a single to right. They're playing him very deep. Sierra's 1-2 is on the outside corner, a called strike 3. Runyon didn't like it, but the side is retired. It's 4-0. Texas playing better ball in the last 2 innings.